Hello everyone, this is the 8th learning material in the lecture series of programming in C language. This is our second module, that is introduction, and subsection that we will be discussing is fundamental of C language. Let's begin with the module. First of all, let's learn about most important part with which we will be dealing while learning C language, that is libraries. In our day-to-day life, we refer library as a place where books and sources of information are stored. Similar to this definition of real-world libraries, we have libraries for every programming language. We will see each point one by one. Library is the collection of the set of number of small subroutines or program written in the machine level language. These functions are directly embedded in the main source code by the linker. There are various library files available in the C language which can be directly called by programmer while writing a program. Instead of handling all the library files at the same time and increase the machine's load, C language gives a facility to handle only specific collection of library files at a time. This feature is called as the header file. So, this was about the libraries in C language. In this section, we will be getting into more details of header files. Header files are the files which guide the compiler in heading towards the correct and necessary library files. They contain the number of library files and other machine-related subroutines which helps the compiler while compiling the program. While using some particular function, one must make sure that the program contains that particular header file present in the source code. These files have the format as the name.h files. These file needs to be called by the include command. Syntax include name.h. Different header files in C. Now we will look at some different header files used in C language. First, stdio.h, that is standard input and output. stdlibrary.h, standard library files. mat.h, mathematics related files. conio.h, console input output files. graphics.h, graphics related files. Okay friends, let's move on to learn a very special function in C language, that is the main function. Friends, let's understand this with a simple example of our home. According to Vastu Shastra, the main door of a home is not only the entry point for the family but also for energy. The main door is a transition zone through which we enter the house from the outer world. Moreover, the main door also creates the first impression of a house. Similarly, in C language, the main function is a special block or function that the operating system recognizes as the terminal point to begin the execution of a C program. It is a mandatory that the very first line of a C program must be this function. It is a general practice to write this function as the main void or void main at the very beginning of the program. Any function is characterized by the closing and opening bracket. It indicates that the function must return a value to the operating system and not to a use. But in case of general programming, as we users wants the value and not the operating system, hence we must use void. So friends, now we will take the same example of the main door and house to learn the next important technical part of C language, that is the body of the program. So after entering the house through the main gate, we enter in the rooms and see the things inside the house. Similarly in C language, after writing the function main, the actual program which is written under that is called body of the program. It is written in the curly braces. While programming, one must ensure that the entire program is enclosed in the pair of the curly brackets. All the header and library file must be defined outside the body of the program. The part defined outside the main body of the program before the body is called preamble. So this was all about the technical terms involved in a C program. Thank you. Here we have finished the theory part of this subsection.